As soon as the weather gets a little bit warmer, people are ready to dive into something that says summer. And what says summer more than a striped pattern? You could do it in so many different ways. It could be more traditional, or it could be a little bit more creative. And we've been seeing so many amazing things on the runway. You're going to be kind of shocked with how designers are working with them. In our first slide here, as you can see, the ladies on the right are looking incredible with their striped outfits. I mean, how amazing do they look? I love the head to toe, both pieces. It's a very simple stripe, but the color is popping. They also use the fabric as an applique on the skirt, which is just a really cool idea to use extra fabric if you actually have it. On the left-hand side, I'm loving this because this can kind of morph into something casual. You can throw sneakers on with it, or you can throw some heels on, or you can wear it with sandals. And the whole look can kind of transform based on what you're doing. And I just love a complete set, makes things easy. Now here the designer has done something kind of avant-garde with the stripe. This is a very basic stripe pattern, but I love how they just got so creative with it. And you can see on the left-hand side that really what the designer did, and I think, Kate, you mentioned this, like it looks like it's like the back of the shirt's the front, and the stripe going in just different directions to kind of give it that unique distinction. And on the right, different designer, same kind of fabric. You're seeing a lot of detail on the cuff and the collar and kind of doing some contrast fabric for that. I love this. This is a little bit more some basic stripes, a little bit more youthful. On the left, what's nice about this is that you're utilizing different weights of fabric. So the top layer fabric is probably like a lawn maybe it's a batiste, but it's a very light fabric that's striped. And when it's layered over the outfit, you're getting this like plaid effect. So you're playing with the linear dimension.
That translucence is really interesting.
Yeah. And on the right, we're trying to figure this one out. So the designer either has a shirt tied around the waist in the same fabric, or it could be part of the actual garment. And I like how this dress could be a dress, or it could be worn as a tunic or a top with jeans as we see it on the runway.
So let's look at some fabrics now. What do we have first? Some bold, basic stripes, right?
Well, this group here, we were really just attracted to the color. The colors are so bold and so confident. We kind of thought of what could we put these fabrics in, and you were thinking like a dress, maybe.
Yeah, women's shirt dresses.
Or a
That's what I
tunic.
see. Yeah,
but actually, this one we put into a men's shirt, and the design is kind of cool because it's simple, but it's kind of elevated a little bit. It has a little bit of a cropped silhouette and larger sleeves, but the real star is the color here. This like really bold stripe.
but that was a 3D garment that you did, right?
Yeah, that's how we showed it as this kind of key product and key fabric for what's current.
And this one here, we really see it being used in sort of a retro kind of vibe. It's very nostalgic. It feels like something from the 60s or 70s that maybe you pulled out of your dad's closet.
Not my dad's closet.
Your dad's a lot cooler than my dad. And this is probably just a little bit more classic.
Yeah, I think I'm really leaning towards the classic, just really indigo chambray. It's ubiquitous. It's seamless, but the weight is nice. And then contrast with a really nice texture of a twill and the white ticking stripe.
Gorgeous. And then with this group, we're adding a little bit more texture here. So what kind of fabrics do we have there?
Well, we'll start with just a little history lesson with seersucker. I'm sure some of you, did your father have a seersucker suit?
We're from the north.
But anyway, so seersucker was developed a long, long time ago, and it's one of the original fabrics that was developed for summer. Because of the construction, there's a lot fewer touch points against the skin, so that means that there's going to be more air flowing through, and it's going to feel cooler and more comfortable. Mm-hmm. And so that's the seersucker. The traditional seersucker suit was like pink and white, blue and white, and it was really thin stripes. So this is a really nice off take, much more modern in this kind of peach coloration and the solid. And then again, this nod towards indigo in this chambray seersucker. Again, this would be great for dresses, be great for menswear as well. But you've really got something really interesting here.
Yes, I love this fabric collection. It is reminiscent of a seersucker. It's puckered, a little bit wider section of texture. What I do like, that it's actually not obviously a real traditional seersucker, the stripes are printed on and they have this like really organic kind of wavy shape. So not so linear. It almost looks like abstract art in a way. So I could see this being used in a really cool dress for women's wear, men's tops. Yeah, kind of different variations like that.
So as we look at knitwear for spring and summer, it looks like pointelle constructions have been getting a lot of attention. So how is that showing up in the market?
They certainly have pointelles and also other kind of lighter weight knits, but specifically pointelles. Here I have 4 different variations on some lighter weight knits, mostly pointelles, except for one of them. The top left fabric is more of a traditional pointelle with a little bit of a nautical feel to it, so something that we're kind of always looking for. To the right of that, we have more of a geometric take on the pointelle fabric and a beautiful cardigan and some fabric we found at the fabric store. And just below that on the right, this looks very high-end to me. It's beautiful. I could see this being made into a dress or something like that. It's very sculptural. And to the left of that, we just love this fabric. It's obviously not a pointelle. It's a lightweight knit lace, and it's just perfect for summer, for layering or doing something fun in that market.
A lot of breathability.
Yes.
A lot of air permeability.
And here we see 3 great examples of pointelle being used on the runway. These gentlemen look phenomenal. On the left, we have the model is actually incorporating trends from our first story, the stripe. So he gets an A+. And on the right, I love how it's layered because these are lighter weight silhouettes. So not everybody might not be comfortable wearing such a lightweight knit, but I love how he has a cotton crew neck under the pointelle cardigan. And moving on, we just have some great variations on how you can use this fabric. I mean, there are so many different end uses. A lot of people think it's very like, feminine, or it could be a little juvenile. But on the left, you can see how, this is a very, very geometric style, but you can see how like high-end it looks, like it's very dressy. And in the middle, it's totally the opposite. The fabric itself, if you look closely at the fabric, it's pretty typical pointelle, like a little bit on the feminine side. However, the way that the silhouette is made, where it's cropped and how she styled it, it's obviously super edgy. And to the right, a little bit more traditional and this beautiful sweater, and that like charcoal gray is kind of a really hot color coming up. And here, these are just some lightweight knits. We just loved showcasing them in these long dresses. The one on the left looks like a little bit more of a jersey fabrication, but I love the simplicity behind it and almost a sort of kind of Grecian like fold at the waist. And on the right, incorporating a little bit of an ombre effect in this fabric.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Let's look at the fabrics we have.
Okay, yeah, we got a combination of fabrics here. Let's start out with some of the Cotton Incorporated fabric developments, some pointelles here. And so I'm just going to move this a little bit closer. It's 100% cotton. It's got a really nice organic kind of abstract design, but it's got a pointelle knit. It's also on the bottom has a knitted in waistline, which is really neat, a waist. And then again, it's just really nice for summer because of the air, just the breathability, the air permeability. But the nice thing is you can do different weights. If you want it to be for, say, a sweater, or it's going to be like a lightweight Henley tank top, it's very, very versatile. And here in more of a really, more of a directional colorway in this kind of deep brown, but a geometric type of pointelle construction.
And we also made that into a really cool silhouette.
Oh, nice.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of silhouette is it?
So we wanted to go with that sort of long Grecian, almost inspired dress silhouette as another key item.
Very nice. Very nice.
And here's a fabric that I really like, kind of incorporating 2 trends for the season, which is this petal pink color, which is really hot right now. And also, the way it's constructed, it has a real athletic feel. It almost looks like a mesh. And we actually decided to use this in one of our digital silhouettes, and it actually looks great for menswear on this short sleeve version that we have over here.